On to you. How y'all doing, by the way? So for you, oh snap, you actually have the Six of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and then you also have the Knight of Cups. How y'all doing? So interesting. A lot of you are moving forward. You have a lot to be thankful for. Celebratory time. Fortunately, even though things are getting colder in New York, but uh, celebratory time. You do feel very good, very blessed, thankful. Um, and you moving like that, you know, the Knight of Cups, you being in a situation where, you're listening to what you have to say because why not, right? It's put you in that position. You put yourself in this position, right? You are listening to yourself, right? And you should. You've made some good decisions. Um, and so this is a time of new self-discovery where a lot of you are rediscovering who you are and what it is that you want to do all over again. It's not a matter of you're just like ignoring certain aspects of yourself. You are taking into consideration aspects of yourself that was already there that you know that you should have listened to, but sometimes you don't listen to. And then now you're understanding that you are going to listen to it because you should. And so then you also have the Hermit and the Hierophant. So the Hermit and the Hierophant right here is all about how you're in a position where the Hermit ultimately is about how you choose to do certain things on your own. See, the Hermit is a person that basically decides to be a one-person army, can do pretty much a whole lot on their own. Chooses to do a lot on their own. The Hermit is yes, it's Virgo, but it's a tarot card of independence, wanting to, instead of with the Emperor, right, leading people. The Hermit is more so about being by yourself, being specifically an individual, and choosing to see things for the way that they are or not see things for the way that they are. And so what's going on here is that a lot of you are understanding that you should listen to yourself more. You should listen to the reality of the situation a lot more because you've made good decisions. There's times where you have listened to what statistically you should do, right? The game says that you should do, right? Or implies that you should do. And then you did it, and then it wasn't really the good decision for you, right? And so now a lot of you understand that you got to move against the grain. And sometimes y'all, and to be honest with y'all love moving against the grain. I spoke to, a few people, more than enough people of your zodiac sign, ask y'all, why is it that y'all do that? And a lot of y'all will tell me y'all like going against the grain sometimes because you like the reward of it, what it gives. And you should, honestly speaking, you should like the reward of it because a lot of you are in a position where what it is that you've got going on is that the benefits of going against the grain, right? Y'all have been seen as the out of the mind person, right? A person who has lost their mind. But look at all the benefits that you've gained from being out of your mind, quote unquote, or you've lost your mind, quote unquote, right? You striving to not be different and doing the things that a lot of people kind of goof on you for. What is it that you realize that you have gained? You have gained a lot. And how you've been able to gain a lot is by not listening to what other people have got going on, listening ultimately to yourself, and not really worrying about it. And so now you're in a position where the Hierophant is that that's where the connection is. It's kind of cool that the two of them actually align because It's both. Is the point is to do the same thing. Is to get that communion with the Most High, right? One is doing it from their own personalized experience, and the other aspect is doing it from like a general, organized perspective. And so a lot of you could be drawing or pulling from both, right? Your friends, their associates, but also your own life experiences. Because this is a reading about you and about your journey, how it is that you came up, where you're going, the benefit that you have essentially afforded yourself, and how y'all don't come out here and ask people for a whole lot or expect people to be out here doing anything for you like that. Y'all out here, y'all get up, y'all grind, y'all get it on y'all own. And do you have help? Yeah, you do. Rarely. But you don't ask for help. You don't normally do that. Why? Because a lot of you realize they're not going to, right? Every time when I've asked for help, I've always had people go against the grain to not help me. And then when I'm like, well, why you ain't help? Then they make up an excuse. So it's like, y'all, come on, y'all ain't gonna help. You're not gonna help. You're not finna do anything. You're not finna help. You know what I'm saying? You're not finna do none of that. And so the point that I'm trying to make here with that is I developed the ability to start doing things on my own because I always knew that I could, but sometimes I understood that I can't do more than one job at the same time, right? Like I can't be the postal service and be like a I don't know, the postal service or a courier service, and at the same time be a jet pilot. I'm just throwing something out there. At the same time, doing two jobs at the same time. You know what I'm saying? In that sense, where it's like I fly the package, and then I'm also like carrying it out and stuff like this. So the point that I'm trying to make here with that is that so I would try to get people to help because I understood, like, you know what I'm saying, like it would be difficult for me. Nope, they wouldn't. And so however, y'all, I'm just sharing how I've learned to be a lot more like, nah, I'm cool. You know, y'all could have learned how to do it on y'all own, however y'all did it. But the moon card here, the high priestess, and the 10 of cups speaks to how a lot of you are glad that you did do it, because the moon, the common thing is the moon between both of these cards, right? The moon and the high priestess, the moon is you have what's common is the moon, the celestial object that y'all are ruled by, right? Or y'all are heavily influenced by. And that's my point. Like, it's the fact that, like, a lot of you are going through big, powerful changes. You are embracing, like, what it means to be y'all zodiac sign, right? Because a lot of the times people try to make it seem like, oh, to be born that zodiac sign, you soft. And maybe. But you're learning to embrace that softness, and that's what's making you hardened. It's and I've talked about this before, but I don't really talk about it a lot because it's not necessary to. That it's how a person becomes hardened is embracing what's happening, right? And then they learn to process that. They understand why they validate their own feelings, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, for me, for instance, I am in love with somebody right now. Me and this person may never link up. I have to take that. I am taking that, accepting that for what it is. And because of that, right, I know that I'm going to move forward. I know that I'm going to do better. I know why I like this person, why I'm in love with this person. And I know now that that's, again, even more so what it is that I like long term. And so it's that embracing, that accepting of it. It's not trying to act like you tough immediately. It's the embracing of what this thing means, the absorption of it, the acceptance of it, the ability to make it a part of who you are is where the hardening takes place. Now remember, y'all shells are hard, and that's where the hardening comes from. It's not you being weak. Y'all just need to do the process the correct way. The way that y'all are doing it is y'all want people to be on, not all of y'all, but the lower level ones want people to be on their toes. That doesn't work like that. How it works is by understanding that, okay, when someone betrays you and you don't like it, or when someone makes you feel good and you do like it, and now you start thinking about their overall character. Are they there for you? Do they actually have your back? Can you really trust these individuals for real, for real? When chips were down, can you really trust them? Have they shown you, you know what I mean, the same face, or have they shown you a consistent face that they've always had your back? What's going on with this, right? Da, 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 da. And so this situation for you is that a lot of you are learning to accept this, to embrace this, to you're understanding that yes, this is where this is what you need to get into. You need to get into more of that. Because what's happening here is the Ten of Cups. That is where the healing process and the fulfillment is coming from. And then you have the King of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. King of Pentacles is Capricorn. So, what's up, my love? What's up, my love? Come here. Come. Anyway, so the King of Pentacles is Capricorn, and then you have the Ten of Wands. And so why this is so important is because listening to that, listening to, again, the King of Pentacles, the need to run game and try to get over on somebody, that is starting to subside. Be the lesser. Be the lesser. You're understanding that a lot of this stuff really comes from a manner of honesty. I've seen wonderful results from, being honest, really getting to the root of the situation and really saying it what it is, that, yeah, I do like or love such and such. I'm not going to say any names, of course, but such and such and such, saying that to myself, applying pressure, trying to see, hey, look, you want to kick it with me this way? Because I want to, get to know you for real. Obviously, it goes without saying, if you don't want to get to know me like that, it is what it is, It is what it is, life goes on, it is. But at the same time, let's not even play any more games. You rocking with it or you not. So, and it's the same thing for you in that sense, that the Ten of Wands is about the walking away from the trying to act like you're tough. And I've talked about this yesterday, right? Because I was kind of like having a discussion with somebody, like it's the perspective of like the tough individual, right? The person who wants to be tough, the person whom, is in a messed up disposition because they're so consumed by their own consumption of trying to be tough, they don't really understand what's actually occurring around them for real, because they're so caught up with, well, I can intimidate somebody, or I can act like I'm tough, and I can act like I'm invincible. No, the real invincibility is from accepting things. So let's clarify the Ten of Wands. We have the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the Temperance, Seven of Swords, and then you have the Sun card to clarify the Ten of Wands for you. So the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Temperance, right, is all about like your newfound spiritual physical and financial growth. But none of this stuff could be possible without your spiritual growth. You've tapped into something, an aspect of yourself that you've kept hidden or dormant, or you didn't listen to for a while. And so now a lot of you are going to listen to it a lot more often, because that's where the truth is. And then you have the Seven of Swords and the Sun card. So there's a tension that's being brought to what you're doing, right? But for yourself, what you're trying to keep out, the Seven of Swords, keeping out, what you're trying to keep out is the ego, the self-importance, the trying to defend yourself from something that you know is actually the truth of the matter, and trying to defend yourself from it when there's no point in defending yourself from it. So the false identity of, like, you know, not being able to admit that when you like somebody and they betray you, that you don't like it, trying to make it seem like it's okay. You know, it's okay. It becomes okay when you accept it for what it is, right? And then when you understand where it comes from, and then you understand, like, okay, if there's any kind of solutions. Sometimes certain things don't have solutions, specifically actionable solutions. Sometimes the solutions is a lot more passive. The best way to actually deal with it is to allow it to pass. This is when we get the hanged man, right? Sometimes people are getting so caught up with, I can't let this person play me. It's like, sometimes you have to accept that the person is playing you, but watch them play. And when you get a good idea of them playing, you get away from them. So that's pretty much it for y'all. Very deep spiritual change that a lot of y'all are going through. It's not anything with the X and none of that. This is more so about your own transformation, your own evolution of how you were even 2 months ago. And now y'all are going through a time where there's deep spiritual change, deep, profound change of understanding more about who you are, and understanding that, you know, what is it that you were really trying to find the whole time, right? You found that you're at peace, and you will be at peace in a relationship, outside of a relationship, doesn't matter, because you have it in here. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We're at 26,300 subscribers. I almost forgot. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. And if you want to come through and get a personal reading from me, the link to that is in the comment section below. Call the Linktree link. Peace.